Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hotel Room Yap with Michaela, and my voice sounding like this. We're doing well. Hello from the Low Hotel. Technically not Chicago, but we're in Chicago. But we're not in Chicago? Where are we? Where am I? Who am I? Who are you? What are you doing in my room? Okay. Anyway, I have my throat coat tea. Yes. We have the same book. Don't judge me. And I brought a robe because it's cold. And I'm going to put it on my legs at the Low Hotel. Spelled, I think it's Loewe. Lowy? I think it's just low. Anyway, I'm not fully my healthiest. Now, it's weird because my mucus, happy Hotel Room Yap, my mucus is clear. So there's not any infection. This is still remnants of me losing my voice after San Diego Comic-Con when I went to Mexico. And then, my voice kind of came back, and then my throat was upset because my voice was gone. And then my lungs started kind of freaking out because my voice was gone. And then my sinuses just followed today and yesterday for fun. There's been no hacking up of color, of anything gross. It's just been like the systems have been restarting. I need to get comfier here. Yes, we're doing well. Okay, it's been tough the last couple weeks, not having my full range of voice. They say health is wealth, and that is very, very true. But I think this is partially my fault, and I wanted to talk about knowing yourself and boundaries with friends. And, we're all learning and figuring things out here, and I'm by no means going to blame my friend for this at all. But I promised my friend that I would drink with her for her bachelorette because it was in Mexico. It was fun. All sorts of things were happening. And a while ago, whenever I was figuring out my scheduling and putting it into my calendar and figuring all that out, I was like, okay, I will drink with you at your bachelorette. I will mark it in my calendar. I will plan for it. And then going into that weekend, I kind of knew that this was going to happen. I was so tired. I'd just gotten out of San Diego Comic-Con. I was wiped emotionally, mentally, physically. And flying to Mexico, I was already tired. And then I did a full day of just full send drinking. I wasn't messy. No, nobody was messy. We knew how to pace ourselves, but I was consistently having a drink in my hand. And then the next day my voice was half gone and then fully gone. And then the last 2 weeks have been on and off of my voice, my throat, my lungs, just kind of trying to figure it out and recalibrate. It was a moment. It's a bummer. I've missed 20 auditions. Not good. And it's a combination. It's not just the drinking. I was also tired. But once I added alcohol into the mix, it just hit everything that was already down and tired 10 times more. And it was just the last few weeks have been a learning experience because I will never be doing that again. I don't care how fun it is, how cute it is, how whatever. No, I had no idea just how much it would affect me. I've never been good at drinking. How some people can just drink and then wake up the next day and keep drinking and they're just unfazed? That was never me. I've never been good at drinking, and lots of friends of mine are. And I don't know. I'm a little bit allergic to it. I think it's crazy. While I was in Mexico, once I had that kind of full day, my body was covered in little red bumps, little red dots all over, and I was like, "Is this a sunburn?" I was in the sun, but I kept reapplying sunscreen, and it didn't feel like a burn, and it wasn't itchy. And so I was trying to figure out what this was, and then I looked it up, and I was having an alcoholic flush. My body was just red, trying to detox this poison I had given myself, basically, because I maybe had a drink here and there over the past 2 years, but not gosh, what did we do? In one day, I probably had, I think there was champagne, a mimosa, 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 cocktails, 5 shots, 2 more shots, another cocktail. Yeah. It was a day. And I was eating food and drinking water. Everybody was eating food and drinking water. Everyone was fine. But it was a heavy, long, full day of drinking. And, yeah, I just won't be doing that again. I really thought it was like, oh, it'll be like a one-time thing, no big deal, and then I'll go back to whatever. No, not a one-time thing. Now, maybe if I was more well-rested, we'd be doing something different here, right? Like, this probably wouldn't be as bad if I had went into the weekend being fully well-rested. But knowing myself now, if I were to go into that weekend again right now, I wouldn't be drinking. No matter the promise I made to my friend, no matter if everybody else is doing it, I would not do that. And I think knowing what is good for you, and not like, oh, I should really have, I don't know, a healthy salad today instead of a cheeseburger. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about stuff that can really mess with you physically. It's not fun. It's not fun to mess up your body when other people's bodies do not react the same way. Some people can drink really heavily. That is fine. I cannot. I cannot without physically harming myself, especially when tired. My skin gets red, my sinuses often get stuffy, my throat and my voice get affected, and if I'm at all feeling under the weather, it makes it 10 times worse immediately. My immunity shield gets attacked, and my voice is the first thing to go usually. And so it was kind of a thing where I was a little mad at myself. I was like, man, maybe I should have known better just how much that was going to affect me, especially because right afterwards, I was going into 3 convention weekends back to back. So I was going San Diego Comic-Con, Bachelorette Party, Fen Expo, Boston, Chicago, and then Canada. And I'm in the middle of Chicago right now. I guess I just thought that I would have enough recovery time, especially because I only drank. Did I drink anything on? Yeah. Friday was like the big day. Saturday night, I think we had a few drinks as well. So I drank 2 of the nights. I did not drink Sunday or Monday. And I was like, okay, that'll be enough time. Like Sunday through like Thursday. Plenty of time to rest, recover, right? Wrong. Wrong. Because I'm moving around so much and I'm traveling so much, I do not have the capacity to emotionally process things that are happening in real time. Things hit me weeks later, and sometimes I don't even see it coming. And I'll be getting a massage. Love my masseuse. Brian, praise that man. And I'll be getting a massage, and then these aren't like, ooh, lovely massages. No, I have him get in there, get all that crap that's like stuck in my hips and my spine and everything, get it out. And after a massage like a couple weeks ago, I cried for like an hour. I was having like a panic attack. And there's so much to discover about yourself. Human beings are very sensitive, complicated creatures. And I think every time we overlook that, we are at war with ourselves a little bit, because each of us is so incredibly different. And we owe it to ourselves to honor our own existence and our own health, to know what we cannot do. And it needs to not be offensive to somebody if somebody can't do something. Do we blame those who have celiacs for not eating gluten? No. So I'm allergic to alcohol. My body has shown me multiple times, and definitely very extremely in the most recent circumstance. I will not be having any more hard liquor, because what's the point? What is the point of literally, like, to feel a little looser? Okay, well, I think there are some other things that we can maybe try to use for that instead. It's just not worth it. And whenever I am not healthy, my mental health takes a massive toll. And I think in these moments too, I have greater empathy for those who are unhealthy in a bigger way, in a longer term way. There may be lack of ability to be optimistic or to be driven, because these last couple weeks I have felt so helpless and kind of worthless and talentless because I can't speak. I'm not offering any audio messages or video messages at my table right now. I refunded somebody last weekend because I couldn't do my voice. Like, humiliating. Granted, very, very first world problems to have, okay? I recognize these are not real problems, but like, it feels crappy when your job is to entertain, and then the thing that you entertain with, you literally cannot use. And if every single time, if this is how I have to think of it, if every time there's a drink, and it's like, great, do you want to have this drink, or do you want to be able to entertain with your voice? The choice will be entertain with my voice every single fucking time. So, I'm done. I'm done. It took me out for so long. It's week 2. It's Saturday. 2 weeks after the Saturday. So it's been 15 days technically since I drank. Crazy. Oh, well, I guess I drank on Saturday. So it's been 14 days. Anyway, that's a long freaking recovery time. No bueno. And again, I know that it's like my system's not working because there's no bacterial or viral element. Since there's no color, nothing's yellow, nothing's green, nothing's bleeding, none of that. It's just that the systems got fucked. It's like my systems got into a car crash, basically. That's what it feels like. They're all resetting. They're a little broken. Yeah. So the point is, we all have to make mistakes and like figure things out to figure out who we are, right? But you can do that and then stick to it. And if people around you aren't okay with it, that says something about them, not you. And yeah, I will not be doing that. Now, wine is different. Wine and hard liquor are two different beasts. Wine is still, obviously, a version of alcohol, but whenever I have wine, I don't know, it processes differently. Not that I'm about to have chug a whole bottle or anything, but having a glass or two of wine is different to my throat, to my brain, to my skin. It does different things than whenever I have hard liquor. Hard liquor is so much more intense on my body. So I'm open to wine. I'm going to be kind of like a wine only, a wine occasionally kind of gal. Like if I'm at a vineyard in Napa, I'll be having wine. If I'm in the south of France, I will be having wine. There are moments, all right? Maybe there'll even be an Aperol Spritz in there when I'm in Europe. But there's no reason for me to like have a tequila shot or have a gin and tonic. It just doesn't, it's abrasive on my throat. My body doesn't like it. I don't need it for anything. It's expensive. It's not good for me. You know? What's the point? Anyway. That is how I feel. And I don't know. I was like, man, I think that a lot of people probably feel weird about setting those boundaries as you learn things about yourself. Like some people who really just don't like dessert or don't want to have a drink or don't want to go on the trip or don't want to sit in the sun or don't want to wear this kind of dress or don't want to be around your dog or, different boundaries. And I mean, that's why there's so many different versions of people. We're not all meant for each other. There's back to this. We're going to start to have some repeat topics here, all right? Because there's only so many things we can talk about on this channel. Yeah, that's why there's so many different people. And so, like, if you find people whose, like, boundaries and priorities don't mesh with yours, all right, whatever. So you just go find people who do. I'm not saying that as if it's easy. But seriously, I've been kind of dealing with that a little bit in my friend group because a couple of us, well, do they all three? Oh, I guess they do. I don't really drink as much as they do. And I don't need to, though. And they never pressure me to. But sometimes I'm like, oh, is this like a bad thing that that we're different in that regard? Like, are our priorities that different that I should be taking note or something? I don't know. I don't think so, as long as nobody's pressuring anybody to do anything. But like, there are some moments where I've held my tongue so far, but there have been some moments where I'm like, guys, cut it out. Why are you getting drunk on a Tuesday? Like, it doesn't happen often, but just like there have been some moments where I'm like, all right, you guys are kind of drinking a lot. Like, maybe reel it in. But maybe that's my job as a friend too, is to like keep an eye out on my friends and be like, hey, seems a bit much, guys. What are we doing? I don't know. But the point is, discover and figure out what makes you happy and what makes you you, and stick by it. It's like the greatest form of self-respect ever. And if people make you feel weird for it, they're not for you. Because I've recently, speaking of that, I've been talking to a guy who I like, but he doesn't drink, and I would have never. I don't know. He doesn't strike me as the type who wouldn't drink necessarily. He seems like maybe he would, and maybe he would smoke, and maybe he would blah, and he doesn't do any of that. And it was like this wonderful breath of fresh air that made me really happy. And I was like, oh, cool. Great, don't have to worry about that. And I didn't even realize that it was something that I was like worried about, but I feel like so many people are like, hey, let's meet up. Do you want to get drinks? And I'm like, no, I don't. I really don't, actually. I don't want to get drinks. I would literally rather do probably anything else than get drinks. And I mean, I know it's an easy way to just ask if somebody wants to hang out, but it just always frustrated me. Especially when people just would ask that out of the blue, like assuming. And I'd be like, cool. You didn't even ask if I drink. Like, let's get tea. That is what I would hit them back with often. I'd be like, yeah, I'd love to get tea sometime. And they'd be like, oh, okay, great. Like, they'd pivot, but it's just, those little things. Yeah. Figure out what makes you you and stick to it. Stick to your own boundaries and what's best for you. It doesn't make you, boring or uptight or whatever. It makes you respectful of yourself, which a lot of people aren't and might be envious of you for. It's the sexiest thing you can do, is respect yourself and know yourself. And I'm still working on that too. Getting better. I'm feeling decent these days. I had like a crazy emotional roller coaster of the last month and a half. It was wild. But yeah, I think in that also came some peace, which is great. And some new knowledge. Like, I will not ever be doing a day drinking bender, because unless for some reason I'm like, oh, yeah, I can do that. I have a month of recovery time after. Who says who? No. And it's kind of interesting. Okay, this is going to be a little longer than I thought because I have more thoughts. So I didn't drink in high school. The first time I drank was at the end of the summer party before everyone left for college. And I decided to kick off my drinking with some shots. I didn't throw up. I just ended up having some pizza and crying on the floor. But I think I only did it because I was sad. And I was in the kind of a reckless mentality because no one in my family drinks. And so there was this negative connotation with drinking, and that it was a bad thing, an escape, an addictive thing. It had all this negative stuff. And so since I was sad, I think I was like, now is when I do the negative stuff. I don't know. I'm over analyzing my own brain from freaking, I don't even know how to do math right now, 12 years ago. Anyway, then I think I just associated with, it was like this escape thing. And then it made me a little more loosey-goosey or a little more talkative or a little more social or whatever. But I don't need it. I don't change. I just become more like, I already want to dance on every surface that I see. I guess when I drink, it just makes that happen a little faster. But why don't I work on just making it happen a little faster on my own and sober? It's the same thing. The fear of being perceived is really the thing that we have to overcome, right? I feel like that's the main thing with drinking. So yeah, I'm just, I don't know, been toying with what drinking means. And then there was a few years in college and in New York where I definitely would drink as an escape. It helped me detach from reality, forget about things for a second. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really need to do that. And at the time, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the clubbing phase, all right? It was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. But it's not fun for me the same way anymore. I really needed to just F off and go dance at a club for a while. I love dancing. I love music. And, I'd been working for so many years that I think when I finally got to New York and I was like, okay, I am 23. No one really cares or is keeping tabs on where I am, what I'm doing. I'm kind of before the rest of my life has started. You can't really fuck around and just club all the time when you're in your 30s. That seems a little weird to me anyway. I mean, if it's fun, if you're just going on trips with your girlfriends and going clubbing, that's fine. But if you're going out 4 times a week, every week, and clubbing, it's what are you doing? Unless you own a club, in which case, live your best life. I was like, this is this is the time. Right now is the time. I finished college. I've been working since I was 5. If I'm gonna just F around and just party for a second, now is the time. That was the time. And so I went, all right, yes, and we just full sent. And it was great. I walked home barefoot in Manhattan many times. Questionable, I know. But even then, it's so interesting. Even then, I had a couple things. There were a couple rules. I did not take an Uber or a taxi unless it was a dire situation or I felt like it was an emergency or whatever, because I had a Metro card. It was $120 a month, and there were subways running at all hours to get me anywhere in the city. I lived in Manhattan. There was no excuse. There was no reason for me to take a car, no matter how late. And now things have changed in Manhattan. But back in like 2017, 2018, it was good time. Good time to be in New York. But just hop on the freaking 2-3 express train. Take it uptown. Go home. Do not spend $30 to take that car uptown. It might have been 15 at that point in time at night, but whatever. It just to keep my finances in line. And I also did not DoorDash or Uber Eats. There's a bodega on every freaking corner. Go get a bacon, egg, and cheese. Go get one of those tossed salads. Go get a juice. Do not freaking DoorDash overpriced food and pay for a delivery fee when you are living paycheck to paycheck. What are you doing? And I followed both of those. Those were my religious financial rules that I followed. Unless somebody else was picking it up, unless somebody else was doing it, whatever. I did not do that. I ordered pizza twice. Yes, I Uber Eats, whatever, pizza 2 times. I lived there for 3 years. I ordered pizza twice. And that is all that I ordered. I'm trying to think if there was ever a moment where I was sick, where I ordered soup or something, maybe. But otherwise, I always went and got my own food because it is so easy to spend money in New York. And that is one of the few things, getting a Metro card and not freaking ordering in food, that you can just save a little bit of money on. And so that's another example of just like figuring out what you need to do for you and not letting yourself stray from that. And you can change it later. But like in this moment in time, who are you? What do you know about yourself? What do you know you need to do or what you should do to make you feel better about just life and the choices that you're making? And then make those choices. Stick to those things. And I'm really glad that I did that. It saved me lots of money. And it didn't really take me that much more time. It made me be more careful about what food I was buying and how I was planning buying food for the week. And yeah, I didn't just frivolously drop money on random cars. I was like, okay, if I'm going to get home at this time, I should probably leave this time. You know what? I should probably head home so that I can hop on this train for, 25-minute ride back to my apartment, whatever. Anyway, time for the book. Let's see what the book has to offer us. And for those of you that are new here, probably not many of you, but this is The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. I just flip to a random page and see what it says. Maybe it's relevant to what we're talking about. Maybe it's not. But here we go. I should probably take out this bookmark, but I'm not going to. All right, let's see. Hey, sure. Let's see. Okay, so it's a little vague because it's talking about something earlier, but this feeling is the affirmation that you're on the right path. It is a nudge to keep going, a sign that you're working in the direction of greatness, that there is deeper truth in what you're doing. It's grounded in something worthy. And I think it's talking about like a feeling, like that feeling. I don't really know. There's lots of things, but maybe we can call it the gut feeling in just our conversation. Whenever you like notice something that like isn't quite right for you or that is quite right for you, and you're like, yeah, that, more of that. That feeling is the affirmation that you're on the right path. It is a nudge to keep going, a sign that you're working in the direction of greatness, because you are great and you're destined for greatness. We all are. That there's a deeper truth in what you're doing. It is grounded in something worthy. It's true. All of us are very worthy. You know you're very worthy, right? Like, we are worthy. We're worthy of a good life, of greatness. I think having a good life and greatness could come off as pompous. Greatness isn't $16 million and a Ferrari and 16 Birkins. I don't know why I'm saying the number 16 so much, but that's not greatness. Greatness is like the full existence of you in every capacity that you are. That is greatness. But that shouldn't even be, oh my gosh, it's already past midnight. We've been yapping I gotta shut up. Goodness gracious. Anyway, the point is, you are worthy, you are great. Trust your boundaries and what you need. And thank you guys so much for watching. God, it's like those little dry patches in your throat. They just kind of come out of nowhere. Brutal. Anyway, thank you for dealing with my scratchy, strange sounding little voice. Hopefully you have enjoyed this episode of Hotel Room Yap, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.